An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Whoever takes a human life shall surely be put to death. The idea that punishment should be proportional to the crime. For many, this concept defined the fate of Javed Iqbal, Pakistan's most notorious serial killer. We examine one of the darkest criminal cases in the country's history. In early December 1999, police and a local newspaper in Lahore, Pakistan's second-largest city, received a chilling letter. The writer claimed responsibility for the murder of 100 boys, all between the ages of 6 and 16. Most were orphans or runaways living on the streets. According to the letter, the children were lured to the writer's home, sexually assaulted, strangled to death, and then dismembered. Their remains were placed into vats filled with hydrochloric and sulfuric acid to destroy evidence. Any body parts that failed to dissolve were dumped into a nearby river. The letter included directions to the killer's house and ended with a final claim. The writer said he would soon drown himself in the Ravi River. When police arrived at the home along Ravi Road, located in one of Lahore's poorest neighborhoods, they were met with a horrifying scene. The walls and floors were stained with blood. Photographs of young boys covered the house, along with handwritten note cards listing their names, ages, physical descriptions, and dates of death. A metal chain used to strangle victims was recovered, along with 2 large chemical drums containing partially decomposed remains of 3 boys. Investigators believed the bodies were intentionally left behind to be discovered. Clothing and shoes were also found, items that grieving parents were later forced to identify. 4 teenage boys living in the house were immediately arrested as accomplices. Within days, one of them died in police custody. Authorities claimed he jumped from a window, though the autopsy suggested signs of police brutality. Meanwhile, the killer himself had vanished. Police searched the Ravi River but found nothing. Believing he was still alive, authorities launched the largest manhunt in Pakistan's history. On December 30, 1999, nearly a month later, the killer surrendered, but not at a police station. Instead, he walked into the offices of the Daily Jang newspaper, carrying a 32-page handwritten journal detailing the murders, complete with photographs. He explained that he feared the police would kill him if he surrendered directly. Authorities were called, and the man was arrested. He showed no remorse. "I am Javed Iqbal, killer of 100 children," he said. "I hate this world. I am not ashamed. I have no regrets. I am ready to die." Javed Iqbal was born in 1956 in Lahore, the 6th of 8 children in a wealthy family. According to his brother, he was spoiled, aggressive, and cruel from a young age, often killing animals for amusement. Despite this, he excelled academically. After attending government Islamia College, his father helped him establish several businesses. It was during this time that his family began suspecting his attraction to young boys. Although his parents tried to push him into marriage, hoping to fix the problem, it failed. Shockingly, he later married the older sister of one of his future victims. Over the years, multiple complaints accused him of sexually assaulting children. Many believed his powerful father used influence to keep him out of prison. In 1991, he was finally arrested for sexually abusing 2 boys. By then, he was married with a daughter. The arrest brought shame to his family, who cut ties with him. His wife left soon after. Following his father's death in 1993, Javed inherited over 3 million rupees. He bought a mansion, luxury cars, and opened businesses designed to attract children. Video game arcades, shops, even a school. At his arcade, he offered free tokens or dropped money on the floor to trap boys, accusing them of theft and punishing them in private rooms. Some were released. Others were taken to his mansion and never seen again. Parents eventually banned their children from visiting any place connected to him. Undeterred, Javed turned to pen pal programs and children's magazines, building secret relationships with teenagers across Pakistan. In 1998, Javed was robbed and beaten so severely that he spent 22 days unconscious in the hospital. After his release, he was again arrested for sodomy. While on bail, he returned home to find everything gone: his mansion, cars, and businesses sold to pay medical bills. Now broke and homeless, he rented a house in Ghaziabad, one of Lahore's slums. This is when the murders began. He targeted runaway boys, orphans, and beggars who roamed the streets, desperate for food or work. Many disappearances went unnoticed. Others were ignored by police, who routinely dismissed reports from poor families. Javed admitted he lured boys with promises of shelter, food, and jobs, then tortured and killed them almost every night. He dissolved their bodies in acid and dumped the remains into sewers and rivers. He later claimed his motive was revenge, anger at losing his wealth, rage toward police brutality, and a twisted desire to make 100 mothers cry, just as his own mother had cried for him. During trial, Javed repeatedly changed his story, first retracting his confession, then blaming friends, and finally claiming no murders occurred at all. But the evidence was overwhelming. His journal was confirmed to be written in his own handwriting. It contained detailed descriptions of the murders and disposal methods. On March 15, 2000, Javed Iqbal was found guilty. The judge sentenced him to death by the same method he used on his victims. He was to be publicly strangled, dismembered, and dissolved in acid. However, the sentence was later challenged on human rights grounds. In October 2001, before any execution could occur, Javed and his main accomplice were found dead in their prison cells, hanged with bedsheets. Their bodies showed signs of strangulation and severe injuries. No family member claimed his body. They said, "He died for us the day he confessed." More than 20 years later, a film based on his crimes was banned just days before release in 2022, sparking public outrage and legal challenges. Javed Iqbal's case exposed deep failures in society, neglect of the poor, abuse of power, and indifference toward vulnerable children. What is most disturbing is this: had he never confessed, he might have continued killing. That is the true horror of this case. Thanks for watching.